Welcome to Straight Pool, the podcast brought to you by the Pro Billiards Tour. We're in Norfolk, Virginia at the International 9-Ball Championship, and along with me is my colleague, Hall of Famer, that's fixing to head to the Hall of Fame banquet, Kim Davenport. And also we have Tyler Styer, a young man out of Wisconsin. Kim, what do you want to say about to Tyler here?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've been watching you play, and what a great future you do have in pocket billiards. And I've talked to you just a little bit. I don't know you that well, but it seems like you have a great head on your shoulders, as do most of all the young players that we've talked to. I mean, I'm just so impressed with all that, because I know when I was your age, it was like, I was like, well, what's going on in the world? You know what I mean? And everybody that we've interviewed, Reed, seems like they know exactly where they're going. And I think that's a great thing, a great testament to your character, too.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, when you were growing up, did you have someone that you mentored at, looked up to, taught you? Tell us some things, Tyler, that could a little bit about.
Yeah,
yourself.
so actually, Jerry Briceth was the one that worked with me when I was my youngest. And he's actually getting inducted this year into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Jerry.
Yeah, congratulations,
and,
Jerry. Right.
He really, took me under his wing and showed me anytime we were together, grab me for a couple hours and go work with me. So if it wasn't for him, I might not be sitting here right now.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I've watched you play pretty good bit, on live streams.
Sure.
Aren't you known for a really big break?
Yeah.
So when we say a really big break, when me and Kim played, it was all about hitting the cue ball wherever you put it on the table. We used to play from anywhere, side rail, middle of the table. Then we brought the break box. The Pro Billiards Tour brought the break box into existence. We tried to hit the one ball, as square as we could and as hard as you could hit it. Nowadays, I go in here and I watch, and I've watched on there. It's all about cutting them or whatever. Sometimes I see some of the guys hitting them hard on 10 ball maybe or whatever. Tell us what you think about the break and what you try to do.
Yeah, so I feel like back then when the rack wasn't as maybe consistent, right? The break was hit him as hard as you can, try and make a ball, and that was just kind of like the way to start the game, right?
Yeah.
Now it's the most important shot in pool, and it's actually like it's a skilled shot, not just an all-out powered shot. If that
Great.
Not that a hard power break isn't a skill, but it's just it's more of a pool shot instead of a break, if that makes sense.
I always thought that one of the most important shots, too, in pool was the first shot, the lag.
Absolutely.
I always thought that
Huge.
was very important, especially when we played, because it was winter break. I remember so many times winning the lag and running 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And getting right out at start, and sometimes vice versa. But that, you win that lag and get that first break, you kind of have control in your own hands.
Sure. Well, you guys know the first and the last are the harder to win, right?
Yes, they
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Getting a break and run right away to get going, it always lets you stay a little bit looser.
No doubt. Now you've played on. This will be what you just now got selected to play. Congratulations!
Thank you.
For the 2022 Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
But you've also played in in 2018, 2019?
And 21 last year.
Oh, you did play last year. Okay.
My fourth year this year.
Okay, I apologize. I thought 2018, 19, and 2021. So this will be your fourth year.
Right.
Right. What are you looking forward to? I know the Americans are looked and perceived as the underdog, but my opinion, I don't know the exact format, and I'll let you tell me here in a second. I think it's going to be a shorter race to like 5 or something. I don't really see where y'all are as big an underdog as some people are making y'all out to be from what I've seen.
Sure.
Because you got the shorter race. If y'all get your head together, y'all have a really good chance of winning, in my opinion.
And if we get out to a good start, a race to 5, anything can happen, and then it's a race to 11 sets, right?
11
sets. So
Okay.
race to 5.
Whoever gets 11 first. 11 points.
Right.
Okay.
So I guess it's best of 20, right? So, I mean, as slight underdogs, if we put a little heat on them, knowing that they're the favorites, now there's just extra pressure on them to, bounce back and get it done. So,
Excuse me. And what I always found in the Mosconi Cup, the first year I played, I was thinking, Reed was on the team, I was thinking we're going to go in there and just mow them right down. and we all started out a little slow because there was so much pressure.
Yeah.
You felt the pressure of the country, the pressure of your team, because it's an individual sport.
Yeah.
And, Europeans were used to playing like on teams and the Americans weren't. So it's like we were kind of at a disadvantage. And tell me about the pressure the first year you played it. It was horrible for me.
Yeah, it was nuts. But I've played team sports my whole life. I played baseball since I was 5-6 years old until I was a senior in high school. So you kind of understand when players aren't playing their game, you gotta slap on the ass, pick them up, go out there and get a point for them after, and then it loosens them up.
Sure.
Right. So when the team is solid and they all get along and they're playing well, it kind of takes the pressure off each individual player, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I know when me and Kim, I don't want to talk too much about us, but me and Kim got to play on 2 teams together there. It was a lot of pressure, especially that first year. And the Americans just back then, though, but one thing I will say, it's become a more norm. When me and you played, it kind of just, that team that we had put together there, that formed there, was really, like the first time we'd been over there, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And we had to go across the pond, and it was like, like Kim said, we were playing doubles. We never practiced doubles. I know y'all probably practice doubles now. Do y'all do that now?
Like a week or 2 before. Yeah.
I know, see, like us, we went over there cold. We didn't, not one time did we practice or anything.
Yeah.
And we got creamed in the doubles right off. We
sure
got creamed in the doubles, and that hurt us, see, and it kind of put us down. But we all got our heads together, and we had a great team. It was me, Kim, Nick, Jimmy Rempe, Johnny Archer, and Earl Strickland. And we all talked, and, we got back together. But getting back to you, the cue sticks that y'all are using nowadays, me and Kim grew up playing with wood, maple. And if I still play with a maple cue when
Sure. I bet you do.
Yeah, but tell us what you play with.
So I use a Predator cue, carbon fiber, right, with a layered tip. And everything's just completely changed, really. I mean, you don't see tennis players or golfers playing with wooden equipment anymore. And
Great point.
You don't.
I never thought about it like that.
You don't. And it's just the game will continue to evolve. Who knows what we're going to have in 10 or 15 years? Like compared to what was the equipment you guys had compared to the guys that played 15, 20 years before you guys? You know what I mean? It just got better and better and better. And with better equipment, I think the players can just let out their best possible game.
Well, I think in every sport too, as generations go on, the players seem to get better too. I mean, but you never look back, and it's hard to look back at players from like Willie Mosconi days and then say that this generation was actually better than it's hard to put that.
You can't compare eras.
You can't. It's hard to do it. In every sport, they try to do it, and I just give up.
Because without Mosconi, the next guy wouldn't have learned from him, and the next guy wouldn't have learned from him. It's like the Michael Jordan and Kobe or LeBron thing. Like without Jordan laying down the framework for them, they wouldn't be as good as they are either. So you can't compare eras.
No, what I see is what I've seen. I hear this is the first tournament I've been to at the International 9-Ball Open here in Norfolk in a long time. But what I've seen, I've watched some live stream. What I've seen in there is they're definitely, the guys are, I wouldn't say they're better. I'm just going to say there's more players that are great now than they were when me and Kim were playing.
Sure.
There's more players from around the world that come, and it's just more players. Not necessarily that they're better, but they're more of them.
Yeah, I feel like when you guys were growing up, nobody shared no secrets. Right? It was keep your information to yourself. You want to just beat up on everybody, right?
Right.
And now it's just people are just sharing information on YouTube. If you got say 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can make a good living. So now people are just sharing information, trying to get views, and they're sitting at home making stuff, and they're making money sharing information, and the juniors are soaking it up.
That's a great point, because see, when me and Kim,
no videos,
me
no
and
nothing.
Kim grew up, the only thing you could do is get an old VCR and a VCR tape and plug it in. You might catch somebody like Nick Varner. Maybe, I don't know, Kim, you might have had it. I never did. They tried to get me to do a tape or two, but I never did any. But you could watch guys like that play on some of the old matches. That was all you could do. You couldn't watch any pool. Nowadays, this generation can just go to their phone and they can pick up. I myself have been watching pool. I'm being honest with you. I've seen some things myself that I've learned myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling you, I have.
Absolutely.
And I thought I was a great player, you know, in my time, and I
always
was.
learn.
You know, but I always knew that you could always keep learning. As I knew that all the time. Every time I go to the pool room, I always found out that I learned something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
doubt.
You have to. You have to.
But all right, let me ask you this: the tables in here.
Yeah.
Do where do you play out of? What pool room do you play at? Do you play at a pool room, or do you have a table at home?
I play out of the varsity club in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's my home room, but I have a table at my house as well. So if I'm playing in a tournament where it's going to be more of a pool room setting, I spend some time in the pool room, you know, kind of get used to the conditions there. I do a lot of my coaching out of the pool room as well. But if I'm playing a tournament with brand new cloth, polished balls and everything, I have my table at home to kind of duplicate those conditions as well. Like you guys remember Mosconi conditions, super slippery, like, you know what I mean? Brand new balls, brand new cloth. So if you're practicing on pool room tables for, you know, a week before, you're not going to do too well out there. So you have to simulate the conditions if you're practicing.
Tell me this: you won the Kremlin Cup, right?
Yep.
And that was what year?
2019.
And tell me what it's a 10-ball event.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is that? What is the Kremlin Cup?
It's the highest paying European event before some of like the European Open and the UK Open happened, but it was the highest paying European event at the time.
Right. Could you tell us anything else that you're proud of winning? I mean, any other smaller tournaments or whatever they might be?
Sure.
I know you've won some other tournaments. You have to, as good as you play. I mean, you've had to have some other wins.
I got 5th in the World 10 Ball. That was a super strong field. And then just going out there and winning the Mosconi Cup twice in a row with the boys, you know, being underdogs 2 years in a row and going out there and winning twice in Alley Pally, like that was absolutely insane. Like I think it was 2,200 drunk lunatics going absolutely bonkers trying to hope you miss. But I'm telling you, there ain't nothing like it. And Vegas this year is going to be off the charts. It's going to be nuts.
Well, Kim, do you have anything else to say? I got another question too, but
I just have to say this young man has a great head on his shoulders and a great future.
Thank you.
And, you know, I really do wish you all the best.
Appreciate it. I've watched you guys play on YouTube, so I've probably learned a couple things from you guys too.
Maybe so. It was a long time ago. I know that.
Well, hey, Tyler, you know what? Great interview,
Appreciate
man.
it.
It sounds like to me that you got it all. You got everything. You're a smart young man. I don't see what could hold you back from. I see you winning an event here in no time. I see that. I really do. I think you lost at the U.S. Open. I don't even remember exactly what happened. I know you were really hot there. I remember watching some of it, and you lost a tough match there and got knocked out. But I see you winning here in no time.
Yeah, I'm working on little things that you know, everybody has a weakness, and you just have to strengthen it until it becomes a strength. Pick a new weakness and just try to keep building yourself up. So that's what I'm doing, and you know, only time's going to stop me. So.
Well, hey, we appreciate the interview. For Kim Davenport, Tyler Styer, Reed Pierce, ProBilliardsTour.com. Check the website out and subscribe, please. Thank y'all. Have a nice day. Tyler, thanks
Pleasure.
for coming over and doing
Thank
it,
you.
brother. You're a nice guy, man. You got a bright future, buddy. All you got to do is stay the course, partner.
Thank you. You as well.